Hello everyone, and welcome to today's travel webcast webinar, Culinary Germany. It is March 14th, 2017. Presenting for us today is Juliane Ehrich, PR Manager for the German National Tourist Office, Jamie Fox, Senior Key Account Manager of Global Sales for Air Canada, and Astrid LaMarche, Destination Sales Manager for Visit Berlin. Hi Juliana, are you there?
Yes, I'm there. Hi, can you hear me?
I can, yeah. Thanks for being here today.
Thank you for having me.
Now, before we get started, I'd just like to let the viewers know that if you guys have any questions during the webinar, please type them into the Q&A box found in your Zoom toolbar, and those questions will be answered after all three presenters have spoken. Okay, Juliana, if you'd like to go ahead and share your screen, you can start whenever you're ready.
Okay. So, thank you for joining us today. My name is Juliane Ehrich. I'm the PR Manager with the German National Tourist Office here in Canada. And today I would like to introduce you a little bit more to Culinary Germany. But before I do so, I would like to give you a brief overview about Germany in general. So here on this map, you can see Germany is located right in the heart of Europe, which makes Germany very easily accessible from other European countries, but also to travel onwards to outside of Germany within Europe. We have 82 million inhabitants in Germany. Most of them actually live in major cities. One of them is Berlin, which we'll learn more about later on by Astrid. Berlin is the German capital. And and just to give you an idea of the size of Germany, it fits 27 times into Canada and 3 times into Ontario. So it makes Germany a perfect size to get around and discover the country. So Germany consists of 16 different federal states. It's comparable to the provinces in Canada. And as you can see on the map on the left hand, Germany has the North and the Baltic Sea in the north. And also, you can see it in this picture, but trust me, we have the Alps in the south. There are a number of German entry points. So we have non-stop service from Canada to Munich and Frankfurt, and brand new as of 2017, we have a direct route from Toronto to Berlin offered by Air Canada ROUGE. And once your clients have arrived in Germany, it's really easy for them to get around. We have coaches which can be used to travel, and also ferry boats and river cruises. And also we have a very great railway system with the high-speed ICE trains. And of course we have the German highway system, the Autobahn. So maybe your clients would like to explore the Autobahn and take a self-drive there. And despite the conception that Germany is expensive, it's not. It's actually very affordable in terms of accommodation, but also in terms of food and also visiting attractions. And the good thing about Germany is English is widely spoken, and we start learning English in school pretty early. So most of the people in Germany know at least a few words in English. And we have a very great infrastructure, which makes traveling a breeze. And of course, we're friendly and fun people, especially when you give us a drink or two. And in 2016, Germany has been voted #1 country by the US News and World Report. So yeah, it's a pretty great country to explore. And now I would like to tell you a little bit more about Culinary Germany. It's not all about the sausage, but I have to admit, the cliche is true. We do love our sausages. And in fact, we have 1,500 different types of sausages in Germany. So that means you could eat a different sausage for 4 years in a row. And pictured here, you can see a Weisswurst. That's a Bavarian type of sausage. It's served for breakfast usually. And it's served with a side of grainy mustard and a soft pretzel. And it's a very delicious breakfast dish. And because we're in Germany, we usually like to wash it down with a Weizenbier, even though it's morning. And another Bavarian sausage comes from Nuremberg. It's called the Nürnberger Bratwurst. And this is a rather small grilled sausage, which is served with sauerkraut on the side. And here in the picture, you can see one of the oldest eateries in Nuremberg, which has been serving the Nürnberger Bratwurst for over 800 years. And also in Thuringia, they have a very special bratwurst, the Thüringer Bratwurst. This is also a barbecued bratwurst. And it's a very popular street food in Thuringia, but also all across Germany. And the recipe is more than 800 years old. And it's strongly guarded by the butchers in Thuringia, so it's only passed on from butchers to butchers, and it's still kept a secret outside of Thuringia. And if your clients ever visit Thuringia, I really recommend they'll just grab a sausage on the street and just wander around, have this little snack, enjoy the beautiful cities of Erfurt, Eisenach, or Weimar, and just take in the Thuringian art of living. And as we Germans are so crazy about our sausages, we even have a dedicated museum to it. So in Berlin, you can find the Currywurst Museum. This is all about currywurst. And the currywurst is a chopped up bratwurst smothered in ketchup, in curry ketchup to be precise, and it's drizzled or sprinkled with curry powder. And it ranges from fruity and mild to very hot and very spicy. So be wise on your choice what sauce to pick. And in the museum, you can learn all about currywurst and also can try it yourself. But we're not all about the sausage as this presentation claims. We also have a great variety of other foods. For example, the fish roll in Hamburg area. So as you've seen in the map previously, we have the Baltic Sea and the North Sea in the north of Germany. So we have plenty of fresh fish. And especially in Hamburg, I can really recommend if you spend a night out on the Reeperbahn in Hamburg and you want to cure your hangover or like prevent yourself from having a hangover, go over to the fish market, which is open early in the morning, and try a fish roll or even a rollmops. A rollmops is a pickled herring, and this will really prevent you having a hangover. And for meat lovers, we also have something to offer in Germany. We have the pork knuckle, which is a very delicious pork leg with crunchy skin, and underneath is very moist, very soft, tender, juicy meat, and it's best eaten with potato dumplings or a side of sauerkraut. And if your clients are not into meat at all, we also have something for them. So for example, in the Spreewald forest area, that's the area surrounding Berlin, we have gherkins. Those are pickled cucumbers. Those are very crunchy and tangy, and it's just a delicious snack on the side. And in the west of Germany, in Hessen, we have, especially around this time of the year, in spring, we have the grüne Soße. It's a green sauce made of yogurt, cream, sour cream, and 7 fresh herbs. So it's borage, burnet, chervil, chives, garden cress, parsley, and sorrel. And it's a really refreshing and light dish that is served cold with a side of boiled eggs and boiled potatoes. And yeah, if you're a pasta lover, of course, I can recommend the Baden-Württemberg dish of Swabian ravioli. We call them Maultaschen. And those are usually filled with either meat or with vegetables. So even there's a vegetarian option, and it's very yummy. It's served in really delicious broth. And on top there are like roasted onions. And if you guys, or if your clients have more of a sweet tooth, of course we have something for them as well. So pictured here you can see the Dresdner Christstollen. That is kind of a Christmas cake with dried raisins and dried fruits and nuts in it, and it's served during Christmas time. It's very good. You should really make sure to try it, and also it's a great souvenir to bring back home from the Christmas market. And of course, you've probably all heard about it, the Black Forest cake, best of course directly in Baden-Württemberg in the Black Forest. And this is a cake with lots and lots of cream, with cherries, with chocolate cake inside, and it's also garnished with chocolate sprinkles. And there is even a shot of cherry schnapps inside. And of course, when you or your clients are in Germany, I really would like to recommend going to one of the local bakeries in all the villages and towns. You can find them all over the place, and just try whatever they have to offer. We have over 300 different types of bread. We have a lot of different types of cakes and pastries. So make sure to take it all in and try as many as possible. And of course, Germany is not only about traditional cuisine, we're also really into fine dining. So in Germany, we right now have 243 one-star restaurants, 39 two-star restaurants, and even 10 three-star restaurants rated by the Guide Michelin. And actually, Germany is second behind France in Europe in terms of the three-star restaurants. So yeah, Germany is really a heaven for fine dining. And one of the most recent additions in fine dining is the restaurant, The Table, which is run by Chef Kevin Fehling. And as you can see, there is like one giant table running across the restaurant. It seats up to 20 people. And it's an open kitchen concept, so you can see the chef working along as you sit there and wait for your food. It's a very cozy atmosphere, and of course, the food is excellent. And yeah, what better way to complement a fine menu than with a perfect matching drink? So of course, Germany is home of the beer. We love our beers. We have 1,400 different breweries all across Germany. So there's little surprise that we have a different type of beer for every region in Germany. So for example, here you can see the Altbier, which is a rather dark beer served in Düsseldorf in the west of Germany. But of course, there are also many different other types. For example, the Weizen wheat beer in Bavaria, or the Kölsch beer in Cologne, which is neighboring to Düsseldorf. So yeah, if you're a beer lover, you want to make sure to try the different types of beer wherever you are in Germany. But we do not only love our beers, especially in the Hessen area. People are crazy about the apple cider. It's called Apfelwein or Apfelwein. And this is a very dry apple cider served in those traditional jugs that you can see here in the picture. And those jugs actually make for a really nice souvenir to bring back home as well. And of course, Germans love their wines. We have 13 different wine growing regions with 100,000 plus hectares of wine growing land. And the main grape varieties are for white wine are the Riesling, the Silvaner, and Rivaner. And for red wine, it's the Pinot Noir and also the Dornfelder. And because the wine growing areas are so beautiful, it's really recommended to travel along one of the German wine routes and just take in the scenic scenery, have a glass or two, meet the locals, and also try some of the local fare. And talking about, yeah, trying some of the wine, when you see a sign like this, it's called Straußenwirtschaft. This indicates that the winter is having a little tavern where you can try the local wine. And also when you see a wreath of wine leaves above this sign, it means the winery is open, and so you can just go in, try the latest wines of the season, and also have a snack or two. And this brings me to my last slide. When you're in Germany, just take in the German Gemütlichkeit, sit together with friends or friends-to-be, have a drink, have a snack. For example, here in the picture, you can see a traditional German Brotzeit, which is usually served in the beer gardens. And this consists of a platter of cheeses and spread cheeses and also cold cuts, and served with delicious German bread. Have a beer with that, or even when you're in a wine growing region, of course, you can have a glass of wine as well. And yeah, just take in this beautiful scenery and enjoy German Gemütlichkeit. So yeah, so I hope I could stir up an appetite with y'all for Germany and for German cuisine. And please feel free to visit our website to learn more about Destination Germany or about German cuisine. And if you ever have any questions, please feel free to reach out. And yeah, we're happy to help. Thank you. And now I would like to pass on to Jamie from Air Canada.
Danke, Juliana, and in Germany, that is thank you. So hello and good afternoon to everyone. Let me go ahead and share my screen with you. Thanks to all of you for joining me today, and thanks to the German National Tourist Office and also Baxter Travel Media for hosting today's session. My name is Jamie Fox, and what I'm going to do today is just share with you the Air Canada service and how all of you are going to get to Germany, and also would like to showcase and highlight some of our products and services, and also want to point out that anything that I cover today, you can find more information on the Air Canada website. So welcome, thank you. Air Canada, as you know, is Canada's global carrier, and we do provide service domestically within Canada and also internationally. We do service over more than 200 destinations on 6 different continents. And we are very excited with our new route into Germany. As of June 1st, we will be providing nonstop service from Toronto into Berlin on Air Canada Rouge. And once again, that is effective on June 1st. So from all of us at Air Canada, Willkommen aus Deutschland, we welcome you to Germany. You now have many more ways to experience Germany with Air Canada. Air Canada now services 3 destinations in Germany with the addition of our new Air Canada Rouge Berlin service. Air Canada offers the most non-stop flights between Canada and Germany, and all from convenient locations across Canada, from our gateways Toronto, Vancouver, Calgary, Montreal, and including Ottawa. So we do fly from 5 Canadian gateways, as I just mentioned. We are very excited about the new Air Canada Rouge service, which starts on June 1st, which is 4 times weekly. It is seasonal service. So we're looking forward to welcoming you all aboard, and we'll need your assistance in providing that service to all of your customers. Now, Air Canada Rouge, as mentioned, our customers will enjoy many hours of entertainment aboard the Air Canada Rouge aircraft. You'll also receive a complimentary hot meal. In our Premium Rouge cabin, you can sit back, relax in larger seats with extra leg room. And our Air Canada Premium Rouge section is very comparable to our North American business class service. So Premium Rouge also includes, in addition to complimentary meals and beverages, more legroom, access to our Rouge Player onboard entertainment service, complimentary with an iPad, 2 free checked bags, and also includes our priority services, which is priority check-in, priority boarding, and priority security where available. And that's all aboard our Air Canada Premium Rouge cabin. We also have Air Canada Rouge, which is our economy section on our Rouge aircraft, which also includes complimentary hot meals, non-alcoholic beverages when traveling to Europe, South America, Africa, or Asia. You have our sleek, modern cabin interiors with slimline seats. Each seat has in-seat power. And also, we do have iPads that are available for rent in our economy section. However, it is important to ensure that you have the Air Canada app loaded on your own personal device so that you can use that if you, in fact, you don't want to rent an iPad. And we also have Rouge Plus seats in our economy section that you can purchase preferred seating for an additional charge. So in addition to our service to Berlin, which we're very excited about, in 2017, it does mark the 51st anniversary of Air Canada providing service from Toronto to Frankfurt. So that is something that we're very excited about. We do provide daily service. And also we provide service out of Montreal 6 times weekly, except Saturdays, and that is operated and co-shared with Lufthansa. As we talk about the 5 gateways out of Canada, we also provide daily service from Calgary to Frankfurt. And also, June 1st, we will be starting seasonal service out of Vancouver to Frankfurt, and that is daily service, and that is a seasonal service beginning June 1st. And believe it or not, we also provide service out of Ottawa. So Ottawa to Frankfurt with daily seasonal service. So as you can see, many ways to get from Canada to Germany. Also Toronto, Munich, Montreal, Munich, Vancouver, Munich. So lots of ways that you will be able to explore, and your customers will be able to explore Germany beginning, more additional ways beginning June 1st. Also keep in mind that we do provide at Air Canada Vacations ways for your customers to search for wonderful opportunities to create flexible cruise and land packages, which would include Germany. And the great thing about Air Canada Vacations is all of the flights are up to 100% refundable 30 days prior to travel. And with just $100, is all it takes to hold your flights. It's a refundable deposit. They do allow other perks when booking with Air Canada Vacations, such as a name change. They have the best price guarantee, which means that you won't find a lower price out there, flight guarantee, and also the ability to earn Aeroplan miles. So it's just quick and simple. You can just visit the Air Canada Vacations website. You can put in Germany, and then you can kind of customize your package, whether it be a cruise package, a land package, just another wonderful opportunity to experience Germany with Air Canada and Air Canada Vacations. So right now, what I'm going to do is just cover very quickly, as you have just seen, many different ways to get to Germany out of Canada, but we also have 3 different comfort options when traveling on Air Canada that you will be able to experience. So we've got our international business class product. So travelers booked in business class have access to Air Canada's priority services, which include the priority check-in, priority security clearance, TSA pre-check, priority boarding, and also our priority baggage handling. And in addition to our fully lie flat seat, you also have an in-seat laptop and USB port so that you can ensure that you're fully charged. You can work along the way on your trip. We do provide up to 600 hours of on-demand movies, TVs, games, satellite radio. So lots of entertainment opportunities to keep you engaged, or perhaps you just want to, lay down and rest on your trip. You can take advantage of our very comfortable pod in our business class, fully lie flat, with a nice plush duvet comforter, along with the wonderful service that they do provide in our business class cabin. You also have other options when traveling Air Canada. We've got Premium Economy, which is a dedicated cabin, which will allow you a little bit of extra comfort over and above the economy class section. So it is an enhanced economy experience, and it is available on all of our wide-body aircraft. And like I just said, it's a separated, dedicated cabin. You'll have USB ports to ensure that all of your devices are fully charged. Wider seats, additional recline, extra 7 inches of leg room, and you'll also be able to take advantage of the premium meals served on board that you also see in our business class cabin, and also those meals are served on China. So just another option, and a very comfortable option over and above our economy section. We also have our international economy class, which is really not a shabby ride in itself aboard Air Canada. We do provide complimentary wine, spirits, meals, hours of on-demand entertainment, as I talked about. Also, single pin audio jack. So if in fact you don't want to purchase a headset on board, you can certainly bring your own. And also USB ports that are available at every seat to ensure that your personal devices are fully charged so that you can be entertained along the way. So as you can see, many different comfort options aboard Air Canada. I did speak about the entertainment on board. There's no opportunity for boredom, as I mentioned, over 600 hours of entertainment. It's fully loaded into a personalized seat back. It ranges from new releases to TV shows, documentaries, games, music. And what's really nice is if you should be lucky to board one of our 787 aircraft, you will find that in our business class cabin, you will have an 18-inch touchscreen display. And in our premium economy cabin, that's an 11-inch display. And then in our economy class, it's a 9-inch high-definition touchscreen. So not a bad option for entertainment when aboard Air Canada. Air Canada is the only Canadian carrier to offer customers in-flight Wi-Fi connectivity across its entire fleet of narrow-body aircraft in North America. Now, we don't currently have Wi-Fi connectivity on our wide-body fleet. However, that is coming in the near future. So that is something to look forward to. So I can assure you that not too far in the future, we will be able to connect you, have you up and surfing the internet, catching up on your emails while traveling across the Atlantic and flying aboard Air Canada. Currently, however, as mentioned, we do offer it on all of our narrow-body aircraft in North America, and we are actually very happy to announce that we do have monthly plans available for all of the travelers for their Air Canada flights to take advantage of Wi-Fi services when traveling in North America. And once again, we will be installing the GoGo 2KU satellite technology on all of the wide-body fleet, and that will be starting with our Boeing 777 aircraft. And that will be coming, like I said, in the near future. Preferred seats is something also that you can find on board Air Canada. So as I mentioned before, many different comfort options, 3 different cabins, and also just another additional comfort option that you can purchase in our economy class cabin is preferred seats. So the comfort of extra legroom when traveling in economy class for just a nominal fee, an additional fee in each direction is something that is available to you just in order to enhance the comfort when in fact you do travel aboard Air Canada. Something that we're very excited about at Air Canada is our chef program. Air Canada has teamed up with David Hawksworth, who is actually an award-winning chef, and he's a native of Vancouver. And he worked for nearly a decade in Europe, perfecting his skills, and he actually worked in many Michelin-starred kitchens. And if you remember that Juliana just showcased with you and shared with you that there are many Michelin restaurants in Germany. Well, David Hawksworth, Chef Hawksworth has worked in many of those kitchens, and now he's bringing them to the tray tables in our premium business class cabin and also in our Maple Leaf lounges. And it's all exclusively designed specifically for Air Canada. So it's something that I'm hoping that you all will be able to experience if you haven't already aboard our aircraft in our business class cabin or in our Maple Leaf lounges. So something that we're very, very excited about. And like Juliana said, you can certainly wash that down with a nice, tasty German beer. So just to cover very quickly some of the services that we do provide when aboard Air Canada. So at Toronto Pearson, we now have a business class check-in, and that is a separate business class check-in. And it's where select Air Canada customers can enjoy an upscale check-in experience that was designed to make the traffic move through some of Canada's busiest airports, ensure that the traveler is well looked after, that their check-in experience is a heightened experience, it's a convenient experience, and it's also much more efficient and also makes them feel special because they have chosen to travel in our premium cabin and with our premium services. Air Canada also has a valet service, and it is powered by BMW, and technically today it is only by surprise and delight. So clients could actually find themselves shuttled in one of our beautiful BMWs to the international pier to catch any one of our international flights. And as mentioned, this is something that cannot be booked in advance. It is a surprise and delight, and it is reserved specifically for premium customers. And it is by a surprise service. However, it is something that we're very excited about and happy to be able to provide to our top customers. And also, just to quickly recap some of our priority services, Air Canada does provide, priority check-in, priority security clearance at select airports, priority boarding, baggage handling, and that is all available for customers that are traveling in our premium cabins, so our international business class cabins, our North America and Caribbean business class, premium economy class, and also our premium ROUGE. So just priority services to take advantage of, or to take notice of our premium customers and to ensure that they are treated with the utmost respect, and ensure that they are whisked quickly and conveniently through the airport and through lines, etc., at the airport. Also, we have Air Canada Maple Leaf Lounges. We have one at the Frankfurt Lounge at the Frankfurt Airport, and these are award-winning Air Canada Maple Leaf Lounges. They're located all over the world at key international destinations. Within those lounges, we do offer private spaces, private pods for relaxing. Some of those lounges have showers to freshen up. They provide beverages, meals, light snacks, wine, spirits. Some of those have very beautiful, breathtaking views, complimentary Wi-Fi, a selection of reading materials, newspapers, magazines, etc. So as you can see there, very beautiful spaces, lots of art installations from Canadian artists, and these spaces are created many times with a lot of Canadian designers. Air Canada's concierge team, we offer personalized and dedicated service in over 40 airports around the world. Concierge agents are able to assist, once again, our premium customers with anything from ticketing, connections, upgrades, baggage handling. They are really immediate resources at the airport, and for our premium travelers, for even situations such as personal needs such as dinner, theater reservations, whether perhaps they need assistance with hotel bookings, limousine services, and once again, it's available to our international business class travelers and our altitude super elite travelers. We also have the Air Canada Altitude Program, which we reward and recognize our frequent travelers, offering priority reservations, airport services, access to our lounges throughout the world, oftentimes upgrades to business class, and also complimentary checked bags. We also provide many ways to stay connected to Air Canada. So as you can see there, through mobile devices, messaging services, notification services, always letting you know if your flight's delayed, if it's on time, etc. So many different ways to stay connected to Air Canada. We also provide many different options to our customers. We do have flight passes, which are flight wallets that can be shared to up to 25 travelers. For any corporate customers that are traveling frequently, you can certainly purchase a flight pass. We also offer online duty, so up until your departure, you can actually pre-select your duty-free options. You can pre-order from the online service using our international catalog, and then you can have the items delivered directly to your seats during your in-flight experience with Air Canada. And just some things that are good to know. Air Canada is the only 4-star international network carrier in North America. We are part of the Atlantic Joint Venture, so we do share our services across the Atlantic with the other airlines in the joint venture. And also wanted to point out quickly that Air Canada is part of the Star Alliance, and Air Canada is a founding member of the Star Alliance, and we do provide, that Star Alliance network does provide a service to over 1,330 airports in 192 countries. There are 28 member airlines, 192 countries served. And in combination with the Star Alliance carriers, we have over 1,000 lounges, and we actually handle over 641 million passengers annually. So that is it for Air Canada. I want to say thank you, Danke, and we hope to see you aboard, and thank you very much, and looking forward and very excited about our service into Berlin beginning June 1st. So thank you.
Thank you, Jamie.
All right, good morning from California. It's still in the morning here. Thanks again for joining us, and I'm going to talk about Berlin. So Jamie and Air Canada are going to bring you there, and I'm going to take care of you and your clients while you are in Berlin. There are three main points why people love Berlin and why people should travel to Berlin. Those are culture, history, and entertainment. So those things are always something to keep in mind when you talk to your clients. So Berlin is definitely a place for entertainment. Already in the 1920s, it was the golden time. There was chansons, there was jazz. So Berlin was a real good place to have some fun. And still nowadays we have 1,500 events each day approximately. And here in the background you can see a picture of the current show at the Friedrichstadtpalast, which is a place where you have a grand revue show, a little bit like Las Vegas, only in Europe, and it's called The One. And we have lots of places where you can actually look for entertainment. So from classical music to all kinds of movie and shows. Berlin is famous for variety shows and dance stages, and lots of companies set up their shows in Berlin. So there's really a lot to do when you go, and I recommend that you check the event calendar before your clients travel to Berlin so that you can set up some evening entertainment options for them. And the good thing is that in Berlin, there is something going on any time of the year and any time of the day. It's truly a rock around the clock destination. And I'd like to give you a little bit of an example of what you can actually fit into a day in Berlin. So you could start with a video tablet tour, which is a rather new product to see Berlin. You have your own tablet, and on this tablet, the guide will screen pictures and videos of old Berlin as you walk through the current Berlin. So you can see the juxtaposition of old and new as you walk through the city. And you don't have to peek over somebody else's shoulder to see a picture in the guide's hand, because you have it actually in your own hands. And after that, why not take a bike and bite tour, for example? So this tour gets you from one restaurant to the next, and you grab a bite here, you grab a bite there. And in the meantime, you bike around and you see the city from a really good perspective. Berlin is great for biking. It's flat and it's easy to navigate. So even if you are not a very experienced biker, it's easy to get around on the bike. And usually there are electric bikes available too, if you prefer that option. And then a Trabi Safari. So now that you have paddled, now it's time to step on the gas. The Trabi Safari is a classic in Berlin, and for a first-time visitor or even a repeat visitor, something that everybody should try at least once. So those little cars were used in Eastern Germany and of course in the East Berlin. And they're very small, but they fit 4 people, believe it or not. And you can drive and have your own sightseeing tour. There's a guide in the front, and then you will just follow along. They give you a short introduction before you start the tour, how to operate this vehicle, because it's a little bit different, but a lot of fun. I killed the engine 3 or 4 times during the whole tour probably, but no worries, they wait for you. And I totally recommend you have a smile on your face, guaranteed, as you ride those vehicles. And afterwards, something that's very specific for Berlin, contemporary art, but in combination with history. The Boris collection is a private contemporary art collection, and it's housed in a former bunker. This is an above-the-ground bunker from the Nazi era. And this couple who collects art renovated the bunker and adapted it so that they can show their collection. It's amazing. When you go inside, you can see, of course, the atmosphere from a former bunker. But to see the art in this space, this is really a very cool experience. So I recommend to go on a tour. You need to book it in advance. And I recommend to book it early in advance because they sell out fast. They're currently setting up the new exhibition, which is going to be on show from May 4th. So it's currently closed for the new exhibition, but in May this is going to be open. And afterwards, classical music. We have beautiful concert halls, and the Berlin Philharmonic is just amazing. So you should try that if you can. You can see the stage is in the center and the audience is sitting around. So you have an interesting angle no matter where you sit. And afterwards, why not go for a late dinner? And one place that's very Berlin and very retro is Klärchen's Ballhaus. The atmosphere is a little, as I said, retro, vintage, and there is ballroom dancing every night. So different dances, could be swing, could be tango. And Berliners love to dance there, and you can have some down-to-earth meals and then swing a little bit away as you are in this place. And afterwards, a bar crawl. Berlin is famous for nightlife, and you should definitely hop from one bar to the next and check out our bar scene. Afterwards, if you're still ready to go some other places, why not take the bed bike tour and go through Berlin and see it from a very different angle. So this is a rickshaw with a bed instead of a seat attached. So you could surprise your significant other for a romantic or semi-romantic tour through Berlin, as you maybe go to a nightclub afterwards, because in Berlin we don't like to sleep all the time. We like to go out, and Berghain is probably the most famous nightclub. And you can see there is a line, and yes, there is always a line, I would say. But if you really want to go and you like clubbing, this is one place that you should really look into. And afterwards, it's time to fill the tanks again, regain some energy, and the perfect snack at 6 a.m. in the morning is currywurst. Juliane mentioned it before. We're very proud of currywurst, and it's rather greasy, so it really gives you that special kick to make it through the morning. And then after you slept maybe for an hour in your beautiful hotel room, I would say you go to breakfast on the stunning rooftop of the Reichstag building. The Reichstag is the German parliament, and the glass dome is quite famous. You can walk up the spiral staircases, and there is a rooftop restaurant. You need to make a reservation if you want to go up there, and then you can have lunch, breakfast, dinner, and enjoy fantastic views over Berlin. And because you're still awake, then why not go on a chartered boat tour? There's solar-powered boats, so it's eco-friendly. And of course, there are many other boat options to see Berlin from the water. So now, of course, you did a lot of funny things, but I would also like to remind you that Berlin is a lot about history. So in Berlin, we've seen some of the darkest moments in European history, in world history. And Berlin is really a place where you can educate yourself, where you can learn a lot about what was going on in Berlin and Germany, but also what it meant for the whole world. So here you can see a picture from when the Berlin Wall was up, and this is Brandenburg Gate. It looks super deserted. It's a sad picture, but fortunately, things changed, and Berlin is flourishing. This is the same spot, but 25 years later, when the wall came down, it was deserted. Now it's a really busy place. And there are lots of places in Berlin where you can actually learn about the history. So this is a quick, just a recap that you can see where the wall used to be. This is Berlin. And here you can see where the Berlin Wall was. It was around West Berlin. And most of the Berlin Wall was torn down. And you can trace it in the form of cobblestones in the road. So when you walk where the Berlin Wall used to be, you can see it in the ground. And in certain areas, the Berlin Wall is still there. Certain pieces are visible, and you can visit those to see what it was like. So this is the Berlin Wall Memorial, which I highly recommend that you visit. This is where you can see the actual setup of the Berlin Wall, and you have lots of pieces of information where you can read up on the history. And there's a documentation center right there as well, with free entrance, and you can hear witnesses talk about their experiences from when the wall was up, how the wall came down and how the reunification process was. And this is a very emotional topic for Berlin, as you can imagine. And the people who lived through this, they get teary when they talk about it. And it's really fantastic that Berlin is reunited again, Germany is reunited. And there were lots of celebrations for the anniversaries. And this is definitely a place that you want to visit. Another very historic place to visit is the Tempelhof Airport. This airport was built under the Nazi regime as a weapons manufacturer, I want to say. And then it was very important when West Berlin was locked up. So there was the Berlin airlift that you might have heard of, when the Russians, they kind of blocked all the road access into West Berlin. So all the supplies needed to be flown into West Berlin. So everything from food, toilet paper, shoes, everything closed. So the planes, they were landing, I want to say, every minute or every other minute. It was just crazy. And you can tour this very historical place. The Tempelhof Airport is closed now, so it's not an airport anymore, but it's open for tours. It's about 2 hours, and it's quite fascinating to see all the different areas in this airport. And if you want to go underground, Berlin has lots of tunnels and bunkers where you can see escape routes, or just the things that usually you don't see, because Berlin has lots of those things to discover. So that's quite a good experience to go underground. And the Teufelsberg, that's something you might not have heard about yet. This is a space outside of Berlin, not too far away, just at the city edge. And again, historic. This is an artificial mountain on top of a former technical college that the Nazis built. And after the war was finished, all the rubbles from the war, like all the broken houses, the rubbles were just thrown over this former college, and it made this artificial mountain. It was then a ski area for some time. There was a ski lift, and later it was a listening station that was used by Americans. And now it is a place that you can visit and go on a tour and learn about its history. And this is a new product right by the Brandenburg Gate, hence the name The Gate. It is an audiovisual presentation of 300 years of Berlin history. It's a big room with lots of video walls, and it's quite a very good introduction to the history. If you want to have a short recap for 20 minutes, you can have a lot of history packed into that time. And the third point, culture. So Berlin is about art and museums. We have lots of museums, more museums than rainy days. So there's always something you can check out, and for all the tastes. This is probably the most famous person in the museum in Berlin, is Nefertiti. She's located at the Neues Museum at Museums Island. Museums Island is definitely one of the places you want to see. It's a group of 5 museums, and there is lots of great stuff to see there. The Jewish Museum is another highlight of Berlin. It's not a Holocaust museum. That's very important to know. It's about Jewish history. Of course, Holocaust is one part of it, but it's not the main topic of the museum. And then, because Berlin is a lot about art, contemporary art, and also street art, I would like to make sure you know about the street art tours. So a street artist guides you through Berlin and points out street art. There are commission pieces, there are of course also illegal pieces, but it's really interesting to go on such a tour and learn how the artists work, what the different styles are. And at the end of the tour, you can spray yourself. So you have a little street art workshop, and that's a lot of fun when you actually take the spray cans in your hand and do your own little piece of art. And just because street art is such a big thing in Berlin, we will have a museum for street art opening up this year in the fall. So that's something to look forward to. It's called Urban Nation. And some more highlights that are coming up. We have the IGA, the International Garden Festival. coming to Berlin starting this spring. And this is about horticulture. So if you like gardening, if you like landscaping, this is a wonderful opportunity to see everything the latest in terms of horticulture, flowers, and gardening. It's a huge area. There will be a forniculture, I think it's called, one of those little lifts that takes you up in the air, and you have great views over the whole area. So everybody is excited about this garden festival. And then finally, the State Opera, after lots of renovation, is going to open this year in the fall for the new season. And the Museums Island that I mentioned is getting a new entrance. So it's called the James Simon Gallery, and this will be the joint entrance for all the museum, and this is going to be opening next year. And then the Humboldt Forum is an exciting project right across from the Museums Island. It's the former Berlin Palace that was torn down by the East German government, and it is now being rebuilt. And this is quite exciting because it's going to look like the old palace, except for one little piece. It's going to be more contemporary, but it's going to just conclude the whole area, so it's complete again in terms of architecture, and there will be museums in there, event spaces, and I'm sure this is going to be a fantastic addition to that area of Berlin. And since we talked about Culinary Germany, I also have to mention the culinary sides of Berlin, of course. We have 25 Michelin stars in our city, and there are 18 restaurants that have Michelin stars, so that's something that you might want to try. And the culinary trends in our city, they are quite interesting. So Berlin is definitely Europe's vegan capital, with so many vegan restaurants where you can choose from. Another trend is nose to tail. So we have a few restaurants that now really look into using everything from the animal. When you already eat animal, why only eat, chicken breast, and why only eat pork chops? So they really try to use everything and make it a more sustainable experience. And it's really good too. And then finally, good pizza. So we didn't have the best pizza before. It was just, okay pizza. But now the Neapolitan pizza is in town, and there are a few places where you can have really, really good pizza. And street food is a big deal in Berlin, and there are certain places where you can experience lots of different street foods from around the world in market halls. So they're not on the street necessarily, but really in a certain space where you have one next to the other to have street food galore, and you go and eat ahead. Berlin has one of the most modern landscapes in terms of hotels. We have lots of beds available, and plenty new developments are coming still, especially in the areas Mitte and City West. So you can here see also a picture of City West. And to wrap it up, we have a city card that's called the Berlin WelcomeCard, which includes public transportation and lots of discounts. So that's a great thing if you want to travel by public transport. It comes in 48 hours and then all the way up to 6 days. And what is brand new is the official Berlin City Pass. So now we have the Berlin WelcomeCard all inclusive, which includes admission to 30 Berlin highlights. So that's a pretty good deal. And you can have it either with public transportation or without public transportation. So this is a really cool product that you want to look into. And if you want to learn more about Berlin and want to become a Berlin expert, we have the Berlin Campus, Visit Berlin Campus, where you can just register and complete the modules. And for completing the modules, you will get points, reward points that you can exchange for little gifts that we will send to you. And a big thank you to everybody who has promoted Berlin in the past years. We are still up despite some challenges in Europe that everybody was facing. So we're happy about that, and we are now at 31 million overnight stays, and we also had a nice surplus from Canadian visitors. So thanks again for joining us this morning. I think there will be a quick Q&A session, and I'll hand back over to Dan. Thank you.
Thank you, Astrid. Now, before we start the Q&A, I'd just like to give a big thank you to all of the travel agents who are tuning in today. We hope you're enjoying the webinar, and if you happen to sign in a few minutes late, a recording of this webinar will soon be available on the Baxter Travel Media YouTube channel. And if you guys have any questions that you haven't already submitted, please submit them to the Q&A box found in your Zoom toolbar. Now, the very first question was submitted, was directed towards Juliana, and Audrey asked, where is the Table restaurant? And I believe that was in Hamburg, right?
Yeah, that was in Hamburg, exactly.
Okay, very good. And Nadia said, Juliana, your presentation made me hungry.
That was now, but yeah, I'm sorry.
And one question that was submitted to the chat box for Jamie was, it was a question from Celine. She asked, premium seats, are they really separated from business?
Yes, our premium economy cabin is a separate cabin separated from our business class cabin.
Right, thank you. And then after that, we had a couple of questions for Astrid that were also submitted to the chat box. And one of these questions you ended up actually offering a solution for in one of your later slides, Astrid, because a question that was asked earlier on was, can dinner be vegetarian?
Yes, so we have plenty of vegetarian and vegan options, definitely.
That's great, good to know. And then another question for you, Astrid, was, how come airport hotels do not offer day use rates?
I will have to look into that. I can find out for you. I'm not sure.
Okay, great. And whoever submitted that question to the chat box, if you'd like to possibly type your email into the chat box, or even directly to me, I can actually share your, please send Astrid your email address. And another question for you, Astrid, was people sometimes ask if they can buy the card once they're in Germany. Is that okay?
Yes, you can definitely buy it there at the tourist information, for example. So there is tourist information offices at the airports and also at the train stations, of course. Hotels have it. There is maybe an advantage in buying it right at the airport and train stations, because then you can actually use it for public transport to go from the airport to your hotel if you want to do that. And if you buy it beforehand online, or if the travel agent, gets it to the client, then you get a voucher, a PDF voucher, and with that voucher, you will redeem your Berlin welcome card at the tourist information office. So that can be done as well. But it's better to get it, at the airport and train station and not just at your hotel.
Great, thank you. And Nadia commented and said, at Canada, we'll never forget the IGA. It's easy to remember because the IGA stores we have all over the country. Thank you, Nadia. Oh, and Patricia is wondering if, Astrid, if you could please repeat the address for the Berlin campus site.
Sure, that's campus.visitberlin.com.
Great, and I'll even type that into the chat box here. Campus.visitberlin.com, right?
Yes.
Campus.visitberlin.com. There we go, just enter that into the chat box. And Sue would like to know, is the Berlin welcome card commissionable for travel agents to sell to clients to arrival?
Yes, we do pay commission. Yes.
And Rosanna said, great information. Thank you all.
Thank you for listening.
And Sue also asked, is the Berlin welcome card any cheaper by pre-purchasing it prior to arrival?
No, it's not going to be cheaper, but of course it is recommended that you as a travel advisor try to sell it to your client, then you can get the commission for it, but it's not going to be cheaper if you buy it beforehand.
Right, right. And then Debbie, it looks like Debbie was a little bit confused about the Berlin Pass. How do we buy it and where do we get it? Or where do they get it?
Oh, that's the same. It's a product by Visit Berlin in cooperation with Turbo Pass. So you can buy it either through our website, Berlin WelcomeCard, berlin-welcomecard.com, or you buy it when you get to Berlin. So the same as with the regular Berlin Welcome Card. It is our product.
And Barbara says, thank you all for this wonderful information.
Cool.
Thanks for joining, Barbara.
Thank you, Barbara.
And Barbara also said, could you put the contacts up again, or will you be emailing us? Yeah, Barbara, I'll tell you what we'll do. So the recording of this webinar will end up on our YouTube channel, but I can also send those to you directly. Let me just jot your name down here. Oh, you're very welcome, Barbara. And we'll allow another minute for people to submit any questions. Nadia said she would like the same. Yeah, no problem, Nadia. And Shirley says, very informative. Thank you.
Thank you.
And Carla says the same thing. She says, Danke for such great seminars. Very informative.
Bitte schön.
And Nadia was wondering if this was the last Germany webinar for now, webinar number 4. Yeah, that's right, Nadia. This was the 4th webinar of our 4 webinar series. And Sue, it looks like Sue might have missed the URL for the Berlin website. Now, Sue, I typed into the chat box here. There was campus.visitberlin.com.
That's for the campus, yes. And there is the general website for visitors is visitberlin.com.
I thought so. Great. Yeah. So for the general Berlin website, Sue, that's visitberlin.com.
And on the website, when you go there, there is a link to B2B where you can get more information specifically for the travel trade. So if you click on the B2B, then you have a travel trade specific microsite where you can find all information that's relevant for travel advisors.
And Charlene asks, are there any FAM trips to Germany up and coming?
I think that is an answer that Antje could answer better than I do, actually, because I'm in charge of media relations mainly. Mm-hmm. So I would like to send an email so that Antje can answer that directly.
Okay, sure. So I'll put you in touch with Charlene.
That would be great. Thank you.
Yeah, Charlene. I'll spell out her last name. Jody asks, are promotional materials available from the German Tourism Department, print or media tools, images, etc.?
Yeah, the German National Tourism Office is trying to become a green company, so we only have little to no printed materials left. So our brochures can be found online as a digital version, and also I can send out around a link to our image database where agents may register and download pictures if they need them.
Oh, super, thanks. And of course, I will be able to provide you guys with a list of the agents that attended today.
Perfect, thank you.
Great.
Yeah, so I think the best will be then, if we can do a follow-up email, then I'll just include all the different ways how to get the Berlin Welcome Card, how you can order it. So it's like in writing. I think that's probably easier. If you have.
Yeah, that sounds great.
Yeah, and I can include that order form and the different options. I think that's probably the easiest.
That's a great idea. So I can provide you with the full list of the agents that attended today.
I think I can just send everything over.
That's great. Yeah, because we have a few requests. That sounds good. All right, so I do believe that's it for the questions. Thank you so much, Juliana, Jamie, and Astrid. And thanks again to all you travel agents who participated in the webinar. Hope you all have a great day.
Thank you, Dan.
Thank you, Dan, and thank you, everybody.
Thank you, everyone from Air Canada, and we hope that we see you on our flight to Berlin on June 1st.
Wonderful. Take care, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.